Hello, y'all, and welcome to the Tuesday Night Live Show morning special edition. That's right, special edition, special time. I'm Bob, your host, and what a fabulous day this is. We hope it's been a great one for you too. At this point, the countdown is on, and at this point, in full swing with only 69 days till Christmas. Here at TNL Productions, today is a big moment. We have been working diligently with Santa Claus's communication help as well as Mrs. Claus to make this day come true. The big guy is so busy this time of year, and we are very grateful to have him joining us in a bit. The opening of today's show is brought to you by Sat Bob's Professional Technical Training School for Christmas Entertainers. The legend lives on. This is Tuesday afternoon live. Welcome back. Tonight's show is episode 38, and our TNL season has been one to remember. We want y'all to know that we appreciate all your support and remind everyone the more we share, the better we become. In the spirit of giving and in his honor of our guest tonight, we wish that everyone would say a prayer for all the innocent people, the lives lost, and those caught up in the turmoil in the Middle East and Ukraine. There's no doubt that tonight is historic here at TNL Productions, but my sidekick is always historic. Folks, say hello to Spangle.
Well, hello there, Santa Bob. I'd like you to know that you really let everybody know where you were from when you said, "Welcome, y'all."
Y'all, this is true.
That we have the real Santa coming here today. I was hoping to be able to turn in my list to him, but I guess I've got to mail it now. But man, I'll tell you what, there's a bunch of stuff on this list, boy. I hope he thinks I've been a good
We've
boy.
all got a large wish list, and hey, we just do a good job today, and maybe he will grant us a few good wishes. Correct?
Let's hope. Yes,
Let's hope.
I'm,
All
I'm
right,
excited about today.
Angela Mack is in the house making history too. She's historically brings calm and structure to this show as we are blessed to have her running things from behind the scenes. Please say hello to Angela Mack.
Hello, Angela Mack.
Hey, everybody.
Just always
All right, you two want to be too
whenever
cool
I
for
say
school?
hello to her, I always get a good thought. Hello, Mac. I always think of macaroni and cheese.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, you say that it brings back memories of when we were there at Branson and you took us to the mac and cheese place.
That's good.
All right, you two want to be too cool for school? Check out fancylees.com for all our exclusive TNL swag. It's over there. Go check it out. Help support the channel. Watch us live or recorded on your big screen. Go to YouTube, the Tuesday Night Live Show 1225. Plus, you don't want to miss a single show. You just don't. Pay attention today. It's going to be a good one. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. We appreciate it very much. The first half of the Tuesday Night Live Show Trivia is brought to you by School of Santa's 2024, hosted by Spangle in picturesque Ozark Mountains, Branson, Missouri, where fun and education meet.
The first half of tonight's Tuesday Night Live Show is brought to you by SchoolofSantas.com. Kick off your 2024 season with inspiration from the School of Santas, an annual premier educational opportunity where fun and education meet, and is held each year the third weekend in July in scenic Branson, Missouri. School of Santas prides itself in bringing in a variety of new instructors and presenters each year, which makes this school unique in the Christmas community. offering quality education, training, and fun. This year, included in your tuition, for only $459 is 4 days of classes, Thursday through Sunday, and 4 fun nights of entertainment. 2 of these are in-house, along with 2 Branson theater shows, where the class can enjoy time out on the town. Also included is a 4x6 graduation photo with the keynote instructor, and a digital group photo. We kick off both nights with a parade, our annual School of Santa's tribute to Daisy May. All meals provided during class served in-house include a total of 4 dinners and 3 lunches. And breakfast is also included if staying at the host hotel. To close out the weekend, we have the Sunday graduation reception with Elvis entertaining on stage. We also have our expanded StuffForSanta.com mobile store in-house all weekend, along with other select premier vendors. Remember, School of Santa's Branson, Missouri is where fun and education meet. For more information, or to reserve your educational, fun vacation in Branson, contact Tanya Lay at 1-800-432-4202 or email Tanya at bransonticket.com. Hotel rooms are not included in the price. Reservations for your room at the American by Wyndham Branson and Conference Center can be made at the time of registration. Remember to contact Tanya at 1-800-432-4202 before it's too late. Now, back to tonight's show.
Before you get started, Spangle, I just got to say, Derek Dugan pointed out that it's not nighttime. That's correct. It's not nighttime here, and we are used to doing the show at night, so forgive me if I said nighttime. But you got to remember, too, where Santa is, there's not much daylight this time of year, and it is already dark there. Anyway, over to you, Spangle.
You did say afternoon for the live show.
I did once, and I said morning in the opening monologue. So,
Yeah,
I
but
tried
that's
to correct
okay.
myself.
Yeah, but it's all good. Hey, the trivia, School of Santa trivia. You are going to get your name in the hat. We will be drawing the name, I don't know, about 6 weeks out from the school. And you have a chance to get your name in the hat and maybe win a free scholarship. Well, anyways, the trivia is on Christmas Eve of the year blank, a Canadian name blank blank accomplished the first voice and music broadcast to the ships from Massachusetts. Blank, blank, blank was the first Christmas song ever broadcasted by radio, and a few passages from the blank were read during this magical night. Wow, that's a night to be down in history anyways. On Christmas Eve of the year blank, a Canadian named blank blank accomplished the first voice music broadcast to the ships of Massachusetts. Blank, blank, blank was the first Christmas song ever broadcasted by radio. A few passages from the blank were read during this magical night.
Yeah, pretty cool. First ever Christmas song. I thought that was very interesting. So again, your name goes in the hat if you are the winner of this trivia question, Spangle's #1 trivia question, sponsored by School of Santa's. Your name goes in the hat for the drawing. That drawing will be made next year, about 6 weeks prior to the school start date. So good luck. Work them fingers, voice activate, whatever you got to do. Now over to Spangle for the introduction of Santa Claus.
All right, guys. Now it's time to introduce our featured guest who's joining us from his official office, unknown to mankind the exact location, but it is safe to say, from what we've been told, such a mysterious and magical place atop the world. Stop what you're doing, pay attention, and welcome the real Santa Claus.
Hello there, Bob. Hello, Spangles. How are you both?
Oh, so good to see you.
Lovely to see you both.
Good, Santa. Thank you right off the top for making this happen. Fantastic. You know, after 3 seasons and some 200 and close to 40 shows, you would think that I wouldn't be nervous, but for some reason today, sir, I am nervous. I am so awestruck by your presence, and to have you allow us to be your helpers is such an honor.
Don't be daft. The work you both do is absolutely fantastic. It really is very good.
Typically when they're real nervous about seeing Santa Claus, we know what list they're on.
Mhm. Very true. Very true. Okay, so gosh, where do we start? I mean, so many questions. Hey, let's start here. What name or innuendo does Mrs. Claus call you, Santa? Like a nickname, pet name?
Yeah, why not? That's a good one. Well, most of the time she does call me Santa, yes, or sometimes she calls me Santy. If she's feeling cute, she calls me Santy. But sometimes she calls me Banter Claus, which is quite amusing because I chitter chatter quite a lot and I tell the odd joke. So Banter Claus is her way of she finds it amusing, because banter sounds like Santa, basically. But yeah, she normally just calls me Santa or Santy, depends. If I've been naughty, she'll call me Mr. Claus, if I've been naughty. But that's rare. It's mainly Santa.
I would have thought for sure she would have called you the Cookie Snatcher.
Well, yes, now and again, if I bother her while she's baking, I might sneak in and, she'll tap my hand like that. No, Cookie Snatcher. Yes.
Well, Santa, speaking of Mrs. Claus, there has been so many conversations by folks in Hollywood movies that have speculated. So let's set the record straight. What is Mrs. Claus' first name, actually?
Oh, I see. Well, the funny thing is, similar to myself, and as you all know, I've got lots of different names. Yes. So has Mrs. Claus. Yes. Now, she's no differently throughout the world, you see. Some people have known her as Jessica Mary Claus, or Carol Claus, Gertrude. Yes, but I called her. Well, I'm going to be honest. I mainly call her Mrs. Claus because, I'm a bit of a soppy type, bit of a romantic, and she likes it. But in fact, her actual first name is Anya. Yes, and I sometimes, I'll say, Anya, can I have a hot chocolate, please? But mainly if we're snuggled up together, so would you like to watch a movie, Mrs. Claus? Things like that. But yes, Anya is in fact her first name. Don't tell her I told you, though. I don't want to get in trouble.
We didn't hear anything.
Exactly.
Very good.
All right, Santa, what is your favorite dish or special meal that Mrs. Claus prepares for you for, say a celebration or maybe a special occasion?
Oh, yeah, good question.
Favorite dish?
Well, I do like food. I eat nothing else. Well, of course, my favorite, it's got to be the Christmas dinner. I do love a good Christmas dinner, and I don't eat Christmas dinner every day. Some people can imagine so, but I do have to be careful. I can't just stuff my face all the time, every single day with turkey and what's not. But I'm rather fond of the sweeter dishes, as you can imagine, and I do like a nice pumpkin pie. I do, yes. Well, that's one of my favorites, maybe with a bit of maple syrup on. Yes, pumpkin and pecan pie, that's very nice, and apple pie, that's lovely, and even cherry pie, yes, sweet potato pie, pizza pie. I just like pie. That's what I'm saying. I just like pies. I try not to eat too much, though.
I can imagine that's because they're shaped a lot like a cookie.
Yes, I guess so.
Now, I've never thought about having pumpkin pie with maple syrup, but it does sound good. I usually try to hide my pumpkin pie with all the whipped cream. It's kind of like this.
Give it a go. Whipped cream and then some maple syrup on it. Maple syrup makes everything taste wonderful, I find. Yes.
Very nice. So I have somewhat of a personal question about you and Mrs. Claus. How are y'all able to maintain yourselves with a strong relationship and not get lost in all the public expectations?
Yes. Well, You see, myself and Mrs. Claus, we've been together for quite some time. And I think the main thing what helps us, within our relationship, keeps the joy up and stuff, is because we're best friends. Mrs. Claus is my bestest friend of all time, in the whole world. I'm friends with lots of the elves, great friends with the elves, but Mrs. Claus, there's something very special about her. And she keeps me on my toes. She keeps me on my guard. And whenever I'm feeling, if I'm feeling a little bit upset for whatever reason, mainly if like the elves on the shelves have been misbehaving too much, then I know that I can always go and have a little chat with Mrs. Claus. And I know she's got all her love and care for me. Yes, and I know whatever happens, I can always talk to Mrs. Claus about anything. I love her dearly. She's a wonderful, wonderful lady.
Well, that's fantastic to hear, and I'm really thinking that as plump as Santa is, if she can keep Santa on his toes, that must be a job.
Well, yeah, she does aerobics every Thursday evening. She does aerobics. She tried to get me to do it, and I was like, "No way, thank you. I'm not doing any aerobics." Oh, she loves it. She absolutely dancing away upstairs. Funny.
Very nice.
So, Santa, how do you maintain hope, not be judgmental, and be so supportive of everyone?
Well, yeah, that is a good question. You see, the wonderful thing about being Santa Claus, my job is there's always rather a lot of love for you, for me. And the best way I find is to give love back. And hope is a wonderful thing. It really is. And to judge, I would never judge. I've seen some things in my time, of course I have, and it's not my business to get into other people's businesses. As long as you can be kind to one another, then you can be good. You've got a good heart. Yes, good heart, and that's the most important thing: having a warm heart, a good heart, and a kind heart. Yes, one should never judge others because you never know. One day, maybe you could run out of hope just a little bit, and you might need some support from someone else. So, yes, never judge, always love, and always hope. That's what I say.
Great analogy. Love that, love that, love that. Okay, I've got another one for you. Speaking of love and heart, what do you
Yes.
think Mrs. Claus would say if asked why she loves you and everything that makes her love you so much?
Oh, dearie me. Well, let me think. Um, I think what it is Mrs. Claus. Well, as I said, we've been together for a very long time, and I am a little bit of a joker. I am, and I think Mrs. Claus. She's very much so attracted to my sense of humour because I do like a good joke. I do like a good giggle and a good laugh, and I think it's very important in any relationship to have a lot of laughter and a lot of fun. Yes, and I suppose I'm rather jolly. Yeah, I'm very rarely down. Yes, so I think she loves that side of me. Yes, and that's pretty much my side all the time. Obviously, I have a very packed work schedule. I am quite busy, especially in December. But once again, she's there supporting me. Yes, I think it makes her happy when she sees me busy. Yeah, she loves it when I go out on Christmas Eve to do my big flight. She loves that. Yes, and I think she's more excited when I come home. She loves waiting. She waits there the whole time. She doesn't go to bed. She stays up and waits for me to come home, and she greets me with the warmest hug. Oh, it's absolutely wonderful. It makes that whole night complete. It finishes it off perfectly. But yes,
Now,
I think it's sense of humor and cuddles. That's what it is.
Well, it makes
you
it
being
nice.
such a jokester, and I've heard some of the elves are pranksters. Do
Oh
you guys
yes.
play tricks on each other?
Well, one year in particular, I'm not sure if this is a trick or a joke. I'm not, or just a simple mishap. But the elves, one year they said, Santa, what would you like for Christmas? you give all these presents to everyone else, but what would you like for Christmas? And the thing, I've got everything I need here. I really have, Mrs. Claus. Yeah, I've got the workshop, everything I need. So I said, I tell you what, I'd love a pair of socks. Who doesn't love socks? And the older you get, the more you appreciate socks. And I tell you what, that year, Christmas morning, I opened the door. You never guess. There must have been about 800,000 pairs of socks. Every elf had got me a pair of socks. I wear new socks every day. I'm still going through them. So I don't know if that was a trick, a pranky prank, or they sincerely just wanted to buy me socks. But yeah, they're funny things.
My goodness. Hey, so since you love that trip so much and Mrs. Claus waits up for you and you really, really love that embracing of that hug, have you thought about having 2 Christmases a year?
2 Christmases a year. You know what? I've never thought about that, but that would be. I tell you what, the children would love that, wouldn't they?
Yes.
Look, good. Spangles, you might be onto something there, Spangles. Obviously, it's twice the workload, but then maybe you could half. No, you don't know. You know what? I think 1 Christmas is enough, because if you have more than 1 Christmas, then you wouldn't get as excited, would you? It's very exciting getting ready for Christmas, looking forward to everything. And if it's twice a year, then, it wouldn't be as so exciting. Yeah. And when would you have the second Christmas? I don't know, in the summer, maybe? No, I don't think that would work, Spangles. That's a terrible idea, Spangles. What are you on about? Terrible.
I think the elves brought some here for you, too.
There we go. Look at that. Yes, I've got loads of them.
Anyways, how did you and Mrs. Claus meet, and where did that meeting take place? Was it lovely?
Wow, yes. Well, I'll have to take you right back. You see, I was a teenager. Yes, when I first met Mrs. Claus, I was a teenager. And it goes way, way back to a little place called Lapland, which is in Finland, in Europe. And you see, I knew Mrs. Claus's mother. Yes, she used to work in the bakery there in the village bakery. Yes, she used to make bread and the most wonderful cakes. Oh, my word. Glorious cakes. Yes, and I used to go in there, and Mrs. Claus started working there. And the moment I saw her, I knew she was the one. And you know what I did? When I saw her, I looked at her and I took her hand and I said, "Excuse me, Anya?" She said, "Yes." I said, "One day I'm going to marry you." Yes, and you know what? And that actually happened. Not long later, either, only a couple of years later, we were married, and we've been together ever since. She no longer works in the bakery. Obviously, we've moved from Lapland to the North Pole, but she still loves to bake. But yes, that's how I met Mrs. Claus. Yes, many, many moons ago.
So I guess it's safe to say that it was love at first sight for you, Santa.
Oh, definitely. Yes, most definitely. And I'm sure it was for her too. Yes, I'm pretty sure it was. It definitely was.
All right, so while we're speaking of Mrs. Claus, where do you and Mrs. Claus enjoy vacationing, and why, since you've been all around the world?
That's a good question, yes. And the thing is, some people may not know this, but I tell children all the time, I have lots of holiday homes. Yes, I have well, my main home now is in the North Pole, on top of the globe. But as I said, I've got a holiday home in Lapland and one in Greenland as well, which is slightly left of Iceland. Yes, so just up there. I can show you the map. I've got lots of holiday homes, but we're not too fond of the heat. Because as you can imagine, it's rather chilly up here in the North Pole. Yes, we have central heating. Of course we do. It's 2023. Of course we've got central heating, but we're not, the sun is a bit much. So we wouldn't want to go necessarily to Australia or Hawaii or Florida or somewhere like that. We like the cooler weather. Yes, where did we go last? I'm trying to think. We went to Norway. Yes, we popped over to Norway. That was lovely. some wonderful things in Norway. Yes, so yeah, we tend to go where it's much cooler weather. Yes, went to the South Pole once. Far too many penguins. I won't bother again. No, pesky penguins.
Hey, why do they always put pictures of Santa with penguins?
You know what, Spangle? I have no idea. I do not know. I've not got a pet penguin. No, there's no penguins up here at the North Pole. But I don't, they're happy characters, aren't they? They look ever so smart in their little penguin suits. But no, they stay down the South Pole, thank you.
So, why do you love to wear red and white so much, and how did it become your official favorite apparel?
Well, that's a good question. Very good. Now, I do love red and white. Don't get me wrong, but I've not always worn just red and white. No, I've got many different coloured coats and suits and jackets. I thought I'd wear this today because this is what you'd like to see. In fact, I've got my hat here. I'll pop my hat on for you. There we go. Hold on. There we go. Look at that. There we go. Is that better? There we go. Oh, yes. Very nice. No, I do. It was all Mrs. Claus's idea. Yes, the whole red. Before this, I've had brown and green, blue, lots of different colours. But Mrs. Claus said, have you thought about trying red? So I thought, why not? I tried it. And I loved it. And I think it's because it's so bright and colourful. And white, obviously, is because it's like the snow. Yeah, or a polar bear, I suppose. But yes, purely because it's so lovely and bright and colourful. It's wonderful colour. Yes, but that's the only reason, really. Mrs. Claus made me a suit, and I rather liked it, so I stuck with it. Yes.
Yeah. You got to keep Mrs. Claus happy too.
Oh, always, yes. Yes, must keep her happy.
Now, I once read in a newspaper article that Mrs. Claus told in an interview that she talked you into wearing red because when you go outside in the blizzards and so much snow at the North Pole, she can find you for dinner.
Well, yes, she would. That doesn't surprise me, actually. She would say that, yes. But, we're always in communication. We're with the modern times up here now. Yes, we've got walkie-talkies and all sorts. If she really wanted to find me, she could. Whatever I wear. But she's right. It does help. Help her to see me in the snow. Definitely. Yes. Not the white bits, the red bits mainly.
Absolutely. All right, Santa, stay with us.
Yeah.
Right now, we're going to do our second trivia question of the evening. This is the TNL Productions trivia, and it's good for a scholarship drawing. We're going to have a drawing here in just a few weeks on our last show of the season for a $450 scholarship value to the North Pole, love that name, Cornerstones school that's coming up in February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I'm going to send it over to our producer, and we'll be right back. All right, so the trivia question for the North Pole Cornerstone Scholarship, brought to you by TNL Productions. Our drawing will be live on November 7th, our final show of the season, which will be our episode 41. And again, your name goes in the hat for the drawing. for a chance at the scholarship. The question is, there is a natural spring in San Antonio, Texas that provides water for several miles of the Riverwalk. This geyser-like fountain only flows when the aquifer table is at approximately blank above sea level. Known to native peoples as blank, that's the name of the springs, meaning, and it has a meaning in the native language, blank, but known today by modern man as blank, and is the largest of a network of natural springs from the Edwards Aquifer in Texas. Again, there's a natural spring in San Antonio that provides water for several miles of the Riverwalk. The water only flows at approximately a certain level, above sea level. Known to the native peoples as blank, meaning blank, but known today as blank. Give us those answers, and your name will go on the hat if you are the winner. So get your fingers working. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take our product announcement. We'll be right back after this.
Hello. Hello.
Hey!
Will somebody get the kid a Happy Meal?
No, don't do that.
Stop the show. It's time for the Tuesday Night Live Evening Edition Showstopper Special for this week. StuffForSanta.com Showstopper Special. Let's go straight over to Spangle and see what he's got for us this week.
Hey, we got a new product coming out. This is it's like a canvas type material pouch for your Santa belt. Fits a 4-inch belt right here. It also has these straps that go this way on the back of it. You can see them right here. So if you want to, you can make the strap with a less opening, so you can wear it with your regular belt on your blue jeans too. So you're able to adjust the size of the strap. It's got the 4-inch for the Santa. But anyways, this little pouch, I don't know the size, but it's about almost as big as my hand, holds a ton of stuff. I got a bunch of candy canes in here. So let me take these candy canes out. There's a bunch of them in there. Got this great big monster one in its own little pocket right there. Bunch more candy canes in there. But let me show you here. This pocket here is elastic, so it would actually hold more than what I have in there. But look at this. Stack of coins. Okay. Wait a minute. Another stack of coins. Wait a minute. Another handful of coins. So there's a ton of coins in there. These pouches right here, I have, because I'm wearing this one right now in my regular street clothes where I can pass out my cards and stuff. Look at how many cards I have in this one pocket. That's huge. This one pocket has a huge pocket, and it also has a mesh pocket. I don't know if you can see it very well. Oh, I can do this with the camera. But it's got a mesh pocket in there also. The other pocket, closer to your belt, I got all of these elf postcards in there, a stack of them. And it also has another pocket inside there too that you can keep your regular size business cards anyways, these will be listed on our website soon. They're not listed there yet. They're coming in today. I mean, literally, I got one, my sample. The rest are coming in today. We are going to ship it to you, $20. That's it. For 1 week. This is great. The winner of the trivia will get one too.
All right, guys, that's good through next Monday, October 23rd. Reach out to Spangle and get yourself one. You got to contact him, though. It's not on the website, so reach out to Spangle. All right. Hey, we got a special commercial to do right here. We'll be right back.
Oh, hello there. Yes, of course, it's me, Santa Claus. Now, you may not believe this, but one of the questions I get asked the most is, well, not how do I do it all in one night? No, but where do I get all my things from? Yes, now, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the finest things I have. My glorious gloves, all my knickknacks and trinkets and things, yes, all the giveaways, yes, for me to give to the children before the main event. Yes, if I see them in the streets, if they come and see me, I like to have something in my pocket I can treat them with. Yes, and there's one special place where I can find all these magical goods. And that is, of course, stuffforsanta.com. You should head there now and see what magical gifts you can find. Mrs. Claus, have you got my ice pad? Yes, log me on. I'm going to have a look. I shall see you there. Stuffforsanta.com. Merry Christmas.
Okay, Spangle, she's going to put the trivia question up that we just had, the last one for the TNL. We've got a couple of folks that want to see it again, and we don't have a winner yet. So she's going to put that up real quick. Give everyone just a moment to read that, look at it. That way we can see if we can get a winner there for that one.
They didn't get that typed into their search bar quick enough.
No. Angela says too many blanks. Hey, we got to make it hard, right? I mean, it can't be easy. These guys that we have on the show are that are here week in and week out. They are so good at these trivias that got to make it tough on them.
Well, Santa, I kind of wonder how many people just now realize that you actually shop at the Stuff for Santa store.
Oh, yes. I get all my stuff from there. All my little bits and bobs, yeah, my coins and my... Yeah, I'm after one of those special pouches you just showed off.
Thank you.
That's very good.
All right. Should we read on?
Ready to move along?
Yeah, let's take this.
Okay. She's
All
gonna
right.
take
Here
that
we
down.
go. The winner's going to get a pouch, Santa. Start typing.
Very good.
In the Middle Ages, Eastern Europe Christians in South Poland had a Christmas tradition with their trees called blank, which in reality was a trend of blank, blank, blank of the center of the room.
In the center of the room.
In the center of the room. In the Middle Ages, Eastern European Christians in southern Poland had a Christmas tradition with their trees called blank, which in reality was a trend of blank, blank, blank in the center of a room.
I see that one's not too hard. That one's just got a few blanks in it, and really just two, but I mean.
Right.
All right. Well, that'll keep everybody busy for a while between that and the TNL production trivia. So at this point, I think let's just go ahead and move on to the second half of tonight's program, and let's continue our fabulous conversation with our featured guest, the real Santa Claus. Over to you, Spangle.
All right, Santy, as Mrs. Claus would say, or Santa. This is a question that every little one wants to know. How do you know where I live?
Oh, yeah. Now, I do. I get asked that an awful lot. I do. And the thing is, I don't necessarily know where each child lives. What happens, you see, is the their gift is allocated to the child. So let me explain. It sounds quite complicated, but when I deliver the presents on Christmas Eve, I couldn't fit possibly all those gifts in my sack on my sleigh. That would just be absolutely crazy. There's no way I wouldn't be able to take off. There'd be so many. So what the elves developed over the years, of course, they developed something very clever called my present vortex. Now, Spangles Bob, don't ask me how it works. I haven't got a clue. I just know it's very clever. And what happens, you see, when I land on let's say I land on your roof, Bob, land on your roof, I reach into my sack and through the present vortex, whoosh, all the way up from the North Pole will be your gift waiting for you. Now, this never goes wrong. No, because it's all the top technology from the North Pole, what the elves have created, you see. So I know that present is definitely for you in your house, you see. So I don't necessarily know where all the children live, but I know that my presents are allocated to that house, which is where you live, and it all goes together, so there's no mistakes. Easy as that. It sounds simple when I say that, doesn't it? It sounds simple. It's not. It's very complicated. Yes, but that's how I know how to get your present to your house. Yes, all down to the present vortex. Clever stuff.
So I'm guessing maybe that elf worked at the bank drive-through in the beginning.
Oh, maybe so. Yeah, it's a few elves. Yeah, but
dollar bills out through that tube.
Yes, up, whoosh, up it goes. Clever.
Yes.
That brings a whole new meaning to the term. May the vortex be with you.
There we go. I'm going to use that actually, if I can. That's good.
Very good. All right. So, along the lines of technology and all, as you just spoke about, what improvements have you made through the decades to increase efficiency in the toy shop?
Oh, well, there's been tons of improvements. Really, like I've been doing this many, many years. Like if you go way back, all the tools and everything, it was just purely wooden toys I was making. But since moving to the North Pole and with the help of my glorious elves, yes, we have loads of mechanics, loads of machinery in the workshop. And my workshop, you can probably picture it in your mind. You can imagine it, but it is absolutely ginormous. I tell you what, it's so big. Halfway down, there's a cafe. It's just you're gonna stop and have a hot chocolate because it's so far to walk to the other end. You couldn't probably do it in a day. It's huge, and we're very lucky with the energy because we've got for these fantastic solar panels. The whole roof covered in solar panels, and it's good because half of the year we've got sunlight all the time, 24 hours sunlight. Yeah, around half the year here in the North Pole, and the other half of the year, the winter, it's very, very dark. Yes, but that's okay because the solar panels create enough energy for those 6 months to last, well, probably last quite a few years. Yeah, so we've got all the power. It's wonderful, and all the big machines. They're all, and of course, the elves. They farm. We've got farming elves for food and things. So yeah, very good at saving it. All organics. Well, we're very lucky actually. Yes, we've got the big greenhouses. But over the years, yes, it's developed so much, because toys, people they're far more involved. A lot of electronic toys these days, which I couldn't tell you how to build an iPad or an Xbox, but luckily I've got the best elves in the business. Yeah, they know all about that stuff. That's good. I keep track of them, I'm going to tell you a truth here. I pretend to know what I'm talking about. But I say to them, yeah, it's very good. Have you made sure you put a reset button on it? Things like that. Honestly, I've got a clue. Luckily, they do.
Have they ever thought about unionizing on you, the elves?
Oh, we have unions. Oh, unions are very important. Yes. The elves mainly started a union purely because I'm sure you're all aware of the little elves. Yes, the tiny, about a foot big like this. Yes, they normally wear in red. Yes, the naughty ones, the elves on the shelves, they're called. Yes, now the other elves, they did start a union because, well, elves on the shelves are very naughty. I tell them every year, I say, please don't be so naughty. No, settle down. I don't want any trouble from you lot. But no, they go out and they cause trouble. So, yes, my working elves and farming elves started a union, and now they don't necessarily react with each other. They still stay apart. yes. The elf on the shelves in the west side, yes, and the all the other elves, all the other places. It's fine. We don't have any trouble. Yes.
Do you know all of the elves by name?
Spangles, don't put me on the spot here. No. Well, it's a tricky one. No, I've got to be honest. No, there's so many elves, I couldn't possibly know all their names. Now, but we have a great system. Again, thanks to Mrs. Claus, every elf does have a name badge. They wear their name badge. Now, I'm talking about the working elves, not the naughty elves on the shelves. No, the working elves, they all have a name badge. So I'm very lucky because I can have a sneaky peek. If I'm talking to them, I know that's one, that one's a Sebastian or Hedgehog or Snufflepump or whatever, Snowbell, because I can see it on their name badge. It's luckily we've got that system. Yes, because I wouldn't want to embarrass them. But there's so many, it'd be impossible, to remember all their names.
Okay, so what improvements have you made in your delivery sleigh to make it more efficient?
Well, yes, the delivery sleigh, as I was saying before, the other question about the present vortex, that's made it very more efficient because there's nowhere near the weight. Now, some people may know this, some people may not. My sleigh is powered. It's all powered completely organically. Obviously, we've got the reindeer, yes, and they guide my way, yes, and they do supply some power. But over the years, I've got to be fairer to the reindeer. I can't let them do all the work because they would get far too tired. Because the world's a lot bigger now these days. There's more children, more countries. Yes, more issues and problems. So I can't leave it all down to the reindeers. No, that would be very unfair. So we developed a system where my sleigh is part powered by the wonderful stuff. It's the Northern Lights. Yes, you see, and every year a few elves go up to the North Star Mountain, and they go and they collect the Northern Lights in a little jar. Tiny, it doesn't take much. Tiny little jar. They go up there with their big nets and they get the lights, put them in the jar, screw it up, quick. And then they travel back down. And just one little jar of the Northern Lights is enough to power my entire sleigh for the whole of Christmas Eve. Oh, it's wonderful stuff. Very, very magical, very powerful. Yeah, in the wrong hands, it could be deadly.
Well, I've often wondered about your sleigh and stuff because every picture I see now by you explaining it, by it has its power. Every picture I see, I often wondered how you stay in the sleigh because I always see Santa with the reins holding the reindeer, but there's no harnesses going to the sleigh.
Well, you see, yeah, I see what you see, but that you're talking about the movie business. Yes, in the movie business, things are quite different. But in real life, I do have a safety belt. Oh, most definitely. Oh, yes, because it could go ever so fast, and well, I for one wouldn't want to be unbuckled in that sleigh because it goes awfully fast. Yes, no, of course we have a safety. Health and safety is very important, or as the elves call it, elfin safety. Obviously, you saw that one coming.
Here's something I'm sure everybody wants to know. What's the deal with the chimney?
The deal with the chimney? Well, I'll tell you what a chimney is for. It's to let the smoke out, Spangles. You should know that, really. No, I'll tell you what how it all started. The chimney business. And I don't know if you know that. Do you know the song called Santa Claus Got Stuck Up the Chimney? Do you know that song? Yes. Well, let's just make it clear today. I've never got stuck in the chimney. All right. That song is made up. That never happened. All right. Don't spread rumors. Anyway, the chimney business, you see, is before there were homes and houses, there's always been chimneys. Yes. Even back when the wood elves lived in the woods, they would build a fire and they'd build a little chimney for the smoke to gather through and go up and come out. Yes, so it didn't go in their eyes. You see, there's always been chimneys. Yes, and going way, way, way back to the Lapland days, you see, I would go into the chimneys because, well, back then I didn't have a magic key. No, some people, because it was carer times, would leave their doors open, but of course you've got the odd person who made sure they kept their door locked shut. Yes, so I had no choice but to go down the chimney. Now, over the years, this has made far more sense, you see, because I have my sleigh. And where is the best place to land my sleigh? Of course, on the rooftop. Yes, so the easiest access from the rooftop is obviously the chimney. Yes, so I pop down there. No one can hear me. No one can see me. It's the best way in. Now, of course, if there's no chimney, of course, don't worry, because I do have my magic key. Yes, and if there's no rooftop, if you live in an apartment, per se, there's no roof, my sleigh can hover. Yes, hover outside. And I'll go through the front door, use my key. Yes, but chimney is far easier access because it's quickly in and out. Done. Lovely. Yeah, that's why the chimney. Yeah.
Hi, Santa. Do you receive all the letters children write, and do you read them all, or do you have to have help?
I read every single letter I receive. Yes, I do. Now, that is an awful lot of letters, but I'm a very, very fast reader. Very fast. Now, I tell you what, it gets earlier and earlier every year. Yes, I've already started receiving letters and lists. Yes, already started. But coming up this month, it's going to get mega busy with letters. They start coming by the hundreds of thousands. Yes, but no, I personally read every single one, and we keep them all. Yes, we keep them locked up in the present chamber. Yes, all filed away nicely. Yes, so I could look back at them if I want to over time. But also it helps, you see. It helps if maybe someone's not behaving too brilliantly. I can look back at their letters and see how they've changed over the years. So it's very handy to keep a big library of all the letters. Yes, but I love reading them. Oh, it's a wonderful job.
So, what do you think about the commercialization of Christmas?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, to be honest, I like it. I like that Christmas is becoming quite commercial, and I tell you for why. It's because it builds up the excitement, doesn't it? It makes it more exciting because if you're watching television and a Christmas commercial comes on, and it's all, modernized and exciting. It's exciting. It gets you warm and exciting for the big day. So I'm okay with it. Yeah. So, if companies want to milk it a bit, then that's fine. We're talking about the fun stuff. It's not anything horrible, is it? No, I think it's wonderful. Why not? Let's spread a little cheer this Christmas. That's what I say.
Well, on another note, what do you think about the impact of technology on Christmas?
Well, it depends. There could be lots of different things, really. The impact of technology. Let me think. Well, I tell you one thing to do with technology, which I really do. I'm very impressed with, and I think it's a wonderful thing for children all around the world. And that is my Santa tracker. Now, I'm sure you've had a go on that. So on Christmas Eve, children can track my whereabouts, and they can see exactly where I am in the world delivering presents. They can see what time I've delivered in their city or a friend's city or in Australia. Yeah, anywhere in the world, they can see where I am. And I think that's fantastic. Yeah, they didn't have that, a long time ago. They didn't have any of that. They couldn't track me. Well, to be honest, the big bosses could track me, but it wasn't public knowledge. No, but now anyone can track me. Yes, and I love that. I think that's fantastic. Yes, more things like that. Yes, makes it more fun for the kids, doesn't it? And for Mrs. Claus. Yeah, so she can spy on me.
She's keeping her eye on you, Santa.
Yeah, I think she's got there on her ice phone. She's got the app.
All right, so
Yeah.
we spoke a little bit about the elves. This is kind of the question of which came first, the chicken or the egg. What we want to know is
Yeah.
what came first, Santa or the elves, and who was the toy maker, and how did you guys come about creating the North Pole?
Oh, what a lovely question. Yes. Well, this goes right back to when I was living in Lapland with my good lady, Mrs. Claus, and one evening, I'll tell you the short version. I won't go on about it. But one evening, I started off as a toy maker. Yes, and I still am a toy maker. But I used to make these lovely little wooden toys. I think I've got one somewhere. I'm not sure it's somewhere around here. One of the toys I made these lovely little statues and things in Lapland. And it was actually Mrs. Claus's idea to deliver them to children on Christmas Eve. So I used to do that, in the village. And one Christmas Eve, and it's quite hard to talk about actually, but it's very emotional. Let me just plug my earphone in. Hold on, it's come out. There we go. One Christmas Eve, there was a terrible, terrible a storm. Yes, in Lapland, and I was with Mrs. Claus, and we were travelling in our sleigh. Obviously, not all the reindeers, just a couple of deers, but it was very stormy, very snowy, and we got stuck, and we didn't know what to do. We could only huddle close together. We huddled really close together to keep warm, and you never guess what happened. But that night is the first time I met the elves. Not all the elves, but the main ones. My main elf, Patch the elf. He was the head elf. He's been my head elf for a long time. And in fact, I would say they probably saved us that evening. And they told us about this magical place. Let me just adjust my thing. There we go. Called the North Pole. Now, we'd never heard of the North Pole before. So they whisked us away there. And they helped us build the workshop. Helped us build the Christmas village, everything. And we built everything with the elves, all by hand. And that's just expanded and expanded over time. And so really, if anything, the elves saved me and Mrs. Claus. Now, this was a long, long, long time ago. Yes, many, many moons ago. And we're forever grateful for all of them. Now, Patch isn't my head elf anymore. Hugo is my head elf now. And he's only young. He's a young elf. He's only about 400, just over 400, sorry. But he's doing a fantastic job. He's been my head elf for the last 2 years now, and he's doing a wonderful job. Yes, he's a great, great little elf. He works very hard. He deserves to be my head elf. Yes, we love them all. They're so dear to us. They really are. Anyway, yeah, that's a little bit about how I met the elves. I'm not going to go on. I'm not going to ramble.
Over to you, Spangle.
I guess your technology there is where you can keep track of what's going on at the workshop while you're doing the interview today.
Oh yes, I've got my earpiece in here, you see, because you never know what's going to happen. Like, I've got my door open over there, so an elf could come in at any time. They know I'm doing it. I've told them I'm talking to my 2 friends today, so they should stay out there. But they can be quite unpredictable. They should behave themselves, though.
So, what would you say is your least favorite thing about Christmas?
Oh, right. Least favorite thing about Christmas. Well, let me think. Well, there's not very many things I dislike. I don't often use the word dislike, but I suppose the least thing I like about Christmas, I suppose it wouldn't necessarily be a thing, more of a feeling, I suppose. Now, I dislike greed, and I find it very hard to deal with at Christmas time, knowing the fact that in the world where we all live, that there will always be, every Christmas, there will always be someone, some family, some child, some adult, someone in the world that Christmas without a home. And homelessness is a very, very sad thing indeed. And I dislike the fact that anyone in the world has to live like that. And I can only hope and pray that it won't last forever. And every Christmas morning when I get back, I sit for a moment and I think. And I just think about those people who don't have a home, who might be cold, hungry, on their own or with family. And I do think about them. And I just send them all the love I can from my heart to hopefully one day they'll get better. That's what I dislike about Christmas.
Yes, I thought for sure you were going to say something about the Scrooge.
No, he's all right.
Okay, let's flip it to the other side now. What is your most favorite thing about Christmas?
Oh, there's loads of stuff. Loads of favorite things. Oh, my word. Yes. I tell you what, really, I'm going to tell you a story now. This really warms my heart. It was back in, I think it must have been the mid to late 80s, 1980s, London, England. There was a terrible, I think the whole of the United Kingdom was down on their luck. Yes, horrible, horrible time. No one had any money. It was awful. But I remember I visited one house. I say it was a house. It was an apartment, a very, very tall apartment. And I visited there. And I couldn't believe it. In their room, they had a plastic Christmas tree with only a few branches on it, maybe 3 or 4 baubles, nothing else, very bare. The room was damp and cold. And I checked in my sack to see what the child had wanted. And the child had asked for a board game. Okay, a board game he could play. So there it was. I got him a board game. I delivered him the board game. The very next year, I went back to the same house. And when I arrived, the same tree, not many branches, few baubles, bit damp everywhere, cold. But on the side was that board game. Now, it was all tatty and old, and it had been used hundreds of times. And I know that that little child, he didn't have much in the world. No, he had an old, funny-looking tree, damp. But I know that that child played with that board game as much as he could with his family. And I know they spent many happy times playing with that board game and having a wonderful time. Enough fun to forget about all their troubles and worries about the tree and the damp. So I think one of my favorite things that I love about Christmas is the joy it can bring. Even if you have very little, just one gift can be enough to bring you all the joy in the world with family, friends, loved ones. That's what I love about Christmas, the love.
Very nice, very nice. Well, folks like to leave you some food items and from all over the world, different things like a glass of milk, some cookies, maybe mince pie or a glass of sherry, maybe rice or Christmas pudding. What is your favorite treat to find when you go down the chimney?
Oh, that is a good question. Yeah, you said that. Rice pudding. Yes, that's Denmark. Yes, in Denmark. Do you know what they call me in Denmark? They call me the Yule Man. I think that sounds quite snazzy, doesn't it? The Yule Man sounds a bit like the cool man. I like that. But Denmark, yeah, they leave me rice pudding. I think it's called Risenkrol. I think Risenkrol. Yes, lovely, very nice. Sometimes a bit cold though. So I do pop it in the microwave. So if you're in Denmark and if you're in Denmark and you hear a ping, then you know that I've come in. Yeah, but what else is there? There's so much stuff. My favorite, Argentina. They don't give me anything in Argentina, but they do leave hay and water for the reindeer, so that's kind of them. I'm not having a go. Oh, I tell you, I do like chocolate. I love chocolate, and in Belgium, some of the best chocolate in the world in Belgium. But you never get. They don't leave me chocolate. They leave me tangerines. Oh, yeah, it'd be better if it was chocolate. But I think my favorite. I tell you what it is, and it's my favorite because it's different, and I don't often have it. You see, I do love cookies, and I love milk, and I love mince pies, and I love all that. But my favorite is because it's quite unusual, but it's in Japan. Yes, and what they don't always leave out a snack for me. You know, it's not tradition, and that's another reason why I love it so much, because I know that that child has been thinking about me and maybe thinking, oh, maybe Santa might like a little snack. But they leave out, and now I'm not going to do I don't want to do product placement, but I will do. They leave out Kentucky Fried Chicken. They do, and I do love myself a chicken wing. So I think yes, Japan, Kentucky Fried Chicken, good choice, guys. And thank you.
Very, very nice. Maybe you can answer this question. This question has been asked all over the world, I think. What is your favorite cookie?
Oh, Spangles. That is a question. Well, the thing is, it changes so often. Like Christmas Eve, I get through so many different varieties. I tell you what, I think my ultimate cookie on Christmas Eve would be maybe like a shortbread with chocolate chips, you know, a buttery shortbread, one that melts in your mouth, but then it's got the creaminess of the chocolate chips. I think that's the ultimate cookie, because washed down with milk, it gets all nice and soft. Oh, wonderful, glorious. Now you're making me want a cookie now. I'm going to have to get Mrs. Claus to... Is she there? No, she's not there.
I did read in a story one time that you were very fond of the round ones.
Oh, yeah, the round ones. I like all shapes and sizes. That's what I like.
All right, very good. Well, hey, I kind of like to throw myself into Bob's shoes a little bit here. So
Right.
Pretend like I'm from Texas. So yeah, y'all, let's go to our viewers to see if we have any comments or questions.
That's right. Anybody got any questions or comments out there? I've seen a few as we were going down through here. Adam Renfro says he loves your suit.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I've got the finest North Pole tailors. I would say you could get one made, but not a chance. No, my elves are far too busy. Thank you very much indeed.
I know I did get a private message from AJ, and he wanted me to personally tell you hi from him.
From AJ. Oh, lovely. Hello, AJ. What was that? Sorry, Spangle.
Santa AJ Ballas.
Oh, right. Yes. Hello, AJ. Thanks. Are you watching now? You're going to watch it back later.
Well, he sent me the message right before the show, so I'm thinking he's here.
Oh, wonderful.
He has been.
Hello,
I don't know
AJ.
if he's still with us or not. I believe he is. AJ, if you're still there, chime in and let us know. Rex Ray, he is in Chipley, Florida. Santa Rex Ray, he's one of your helpers. You should know who Rex is. I've always wanted to know, is your jolly that curls your mustache, or do you use products?
Imagine if it was just your jolly. That would be good, wouldn't it? But no, Rex, no, you've got to put a bit of work in there. Yes, a little bit of product. Yes. Now, again, you probably can't get the product I do because I get it from the North Pole stores. Yes, but it's a fantastic moustache wax. I tell you what, you can probably get some from Spangles. Do you do just moustache wax, Spangle?
Yeah, we have a few things like that.
There we go. Knock yourself out. Yes, great stuff.
Man, this has been a fun show, man. And man, I really thank you for coming in here.
You're more than welcome. I've had a fantastic time, a wonderful time. Yes, I can't wait. I'm going to see what Mrs. Claus and the elves think. I think they're watching live. If not, they'll watch it back later. Be interested to see what they think. Hopefully, I've said only nice things about Mrs. Claus. Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble.
Now, do y'all have YouTube up there, or is it SnowTube?
Oh yeah, yeah, clever. It's actually YouTube.
YouTube.
Yes.
Very nice.
We have a viewer that wants to know: have you ever been bitten by a watchdog?
Oh yes. Well, many, 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 many moons ago, yes, it could happen. You've got to be quick on your feet. But now the elves have developed a fantastic freeze spray. Now it's perfectly safe for animals and humans, but it's a little spray we could use that just freezes them completely, just like this. So if a dog's coming at you like that, freezes them. Fantastic. Just the right amount of time for you to get in and deliver the present. So no, it doesn't happen anymore. But my prep and landing elves always make sure there's no animals or anything ready to pounce. Very good elves, prep and landing.
Fantastic. Now, you mentioned watching later. That was a good lead in for something that I want to tell everyone. Normally, our show airs at 7 p.m. Central Time, United States. And since we come on earlier today to accommodate you, the big guy, we are going to do at 7 p.m. Central Time tonight an encore presentation replay on our channels of today's program. If you missed it, or if you know someone who missed it, let them know that we will have an encore presentation tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time. Rex Ray also wants to know, how do you keep from getting burned when there is a fire in the fireplace?
Oh, good question. Well, you can always tell if there's a fire because there's always smoke, you see. So if a chimney's smoking, then you know you've got to be careful. You've got to, again, down to prep and landing. They're two of my finest elves, prep and landing. They use a special, it's hard to explain, but it's like a little tablet, not a computer tablet, like a little, medicine tablet. And they just drop it down the chimney, it falls down, poof, and it just, poof, it blows the fire out. It's very, very powerful thing. Puts the fire out. So it's safe for me to go down. And then they always make sure to reactivate the fire afterwards. Yes. If it's not too late, if it's too late, there's no one else in the living room. Sometimes they'll leave it out because, of course, fires can be very dangerous if left unattended. So safety first, once again. But yes, you can see the smoke, Rex. That's how you know.
Well,
Rex has got another one. He wants to know who is ahead in the reindeer games this year.
Who's ahead in the reindeer games? Dasher. Always Dasher. That reindeer is super fast. Well, hence why it's called Dasher. Like that. Yes, one of my finest deer, most definitely.
All right, Santa, stay with us. We want to take the
moment. There's one here I'd like to address.
Go ahead.
It's actually addressed to Angela, but they want to know, who is this person, because the voice is familiar. Well, they should know it because they've been visiting this person their whole life. It is Santa Claus.
That's correct.
Me? Yeah, but hopefully, I may have spoken to them. Hopefully they haven't seen me because, I like to be stealth and fast, but yeah, sometimes it happens. You can bump into a child, of course. You have a little chat. Yes, but yes, you've got to be super secret.
And when you do, that's why it's nice to have those trinkets in your pocket.
Oh, I like that, Spangle. Very good. Stuffforsanta.com.
All right, we also have, let's see here. Where did that question go? Joe Steffen wants to know, what is your prevention for not falling off the roof, to keep from falling off the roof?
Well, it's my boots. I've got a fantastic boot. I've got an unbelievable cobbler here in the North Pole. And have you seen like golfing shoes? You have golf shoes, and they've got the little spikes on the bottom, I believe. My boots. Now, I've got several pairs of boots. My Christmas Eve boots, which are slightly different from my normal boots, they've got these little tiny spikes. You see, because I know I'm not going to bump into anyone on Christmas Eve. I've got a job to do. So I wear these boots, and they are fantastic. Yeah, I don't think I've ever fallen off a roof. They're so well made, these boots, but they stick a bit like, I tell you what, I'm a bit like Spider-Man. Yeah, I can't walk up the walls. That would be crazy. Actually, that's a good idea. Hugo, can you see if you can get me to walk up the walls? Yeah, invent something for that. Yeah, that would be good. So I just talked to Hugo.
All right, very good, Santa. Stay with us. We're going to take the moment to reveal tonight's trivia answers and winners. We're going to start with schoolofsantas.com. On Christmas Eve of the year 1906, a Canadian named Reginald Fessendine accomplished the first voice and music broadcast to ships from Massachusetts. Oh, Holy Night was the first Christmas song ever broadcast by radio, and a few passages from the Bible were read during this magical night. Our winner,
Mike Hutchings.
Mike Hutchins. Fantastic, Mike. Your name goes in a hat for the School of Santas 2024 in July. That drawing will be, like I said, next year, about 6 weeks prior to the July date here on our show. Let's go to the TNL Productions. There is a natural spring in San Antonio that provides water for several miles of the Riverwalk. This geyser like fountain only flows when the aquifer table is approximately 676 feet above sea level. Known to native people as, okay, guys, here we go. Yanaguana, Yanaguana, meaning spirit waters, but today is known as Blue Hoe. And our winner,
Diane Vian.
Diane Vian, wins that. Your name goes in the hat again, Diane, for the Tuesday Night Live production. Scholarship chance, which will be drawn, as I said before, last show of the season here on Tuesday Night Live. Now for StuffForSanta.com. In the Middle Ages, Eastern European Christians in southern Poland had a Christmas tradition with their trees called Podlazniczek, Podlazniczek. That's how it's spelled. That's right. And that term, which is in reality, is the trend of inverted Christmas trees or upside down Christmas trees in the center of a room. Our winner,
Charlie Johnson.
Charlie Johnson, gets that one. Fantastic, Charlie. You got a pass coming, buddy. So Spangle's going to be sending that out to you. Now, was it Charlie that asked if all the good stuff came in it? The coins, the candy canes?
That was Santa Tom.
Oh, that was Tom. Tom up in Vancouver, Washington, that asked that question. No, Tom, unfortunately, Spangle didn't set that one up to ship out that away. That was just for display. You know how those displays go, right? All right, Santa. We want to thank you for staying with us. We do have one last question before we wrap things up.
Certainly.
What
yes,
is your
go for it.
message to any child out there with no longer believes in you? And what would you tell them about how the merits work as far as staying on the nice list?
Well, that's a good question. I would say, well, it's absolutely fine if you don't want to believe. You know, I have no problem with that. But the belief is about, you can find it in your heart. Yes. Now, as long as you have love and belief in your heart, I'm happy with that. That's absolutely fine. But it's about passing things on. Christmas is always about the giving of things. So I ask a child if they don't believe in me any longer, then maybe you could start your own tradition, your own belief system by giving. Yes, receiving is nice. We all love to receive something, but there's no better feeling than giving. Yeah, so I would say to a child, don't stop believing. You may not believe in me anymore, but believe in yourself. Yes, and if you do that, then, well, you'll always have someone to love. Yes, and for someone to love you, you have to love yourself first. So, believe, love, and give. That's what I say.
Fantastic answer. Fantastic answer. Great, great, great. Now, we do have one late question that come in for you, Santa. This
No
comes
problem.
from William Hunsucker. He is joining us on YouTube today. Who started
Hello, William.
Who started the Christmas pickle?
The Christmas pickle? Probably one of the elves. I think it was down to the elves. Yes. I would certainly, I put one of them up to it.
Yeah.
I thought for
Brady is
sure it would have been a professional baseball player because he got himself caught in a pickle between the bases.
Who knows?
Who knows?
It's a long going argument.
All right,
Hey,
Santa, stay with us as we close out the show, and we'll talk more in just a moment. Over to you, Spangle.
yeah, join us next week for our next Tuesday Night Live episode, 7 p.m. for our third annual roundtable discussion panel. That is a lot of fun there. All right, and
Yes,
can't
it
forget
is.
to catch next Monday's show with Bob and Randall, Mondays at 3 p.m. You got to somebody report
That's,
to me what those
that's
guys are
right,
doing.
and it will be the final show for the Bob and Randall and Company's final show next Monday. They'll be closing the season out for that show. Now, Randy will be with us on October 30th for the Halloween show, which we will be doing on a Monday. So he'll be part of the panel that night. But yes, that will be our last show. North Pole Cornerstones invite you all to join us in San Antonio, Texas, February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 2024 for a learning experience like you've never seen before. npcornerstones.com. All the information is over. You can sign up for your hotel. You can also register for a scholarship that the NP Cornerstone teams has put together. Excuse me. All right, Spangle, you got any closing thoughts, brother?
Yeah, I do. Santa, please stick around with us after the show is over to be in the green room. You and I need to go over my list of items that I want for Christmas.
Oh, very good, Spangles. Very good.
He's
Yeah.
always up to something, isn't he, Santa?
Yes.
Yes.
And Mr. Santa Claus, I want to thank you so much for joining us for tonight and being our guest. It's been an honor and a privilege to speak with you.
You are both more than welcome. Bob and Spangles, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. And before I go, I'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. Oh!
Now, on a follow-up thought I just had, because Spangle is always the jokester and you like to joke, but I need to
Oh, I
know
do.
how many times has Spangle been on the naughty list?
Well, Bob, I'm afraid I'm not allowed to release that information. It's highly classified. Bangles knows, though.
Very good, Santa. Always the diplomat. That's what we love about you. Also, folks,
Yes.
remember you can catch all the TNL merchandise is available over at fancylees.com. Remember that it helps support our channel. Like, share, comment, and let people know about the show. Want to give a big thank you to schoolofsantas.com, stuffforsanta.com, holidayphotomagic.com, thermapparel.com, fancylees.com, North Pole Cornerstones or npcornerstones.com. And remember to join us San Antonio, February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Sign up. Let us know if you're going to be there. All right, and don't forget that the Bob Randall and Company live preview show does have our own channel where you can always go over and watch the replays of the Monday show. As yet another show comes to an end, we want to wish each of you happy closing. Tell everyone good night, Spangle, or good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Spaniel.
Very good. Remember to join us for our next Tuesday Night Live each week, 7 p.m. Central Time. Same Santa Claus time, same Santa Claus channel. Count your blessings, not your sorrows. May your troubles be small, but your blessings be large. Have a blessed week. Until next time, on behalf of the world's favorite time traveling, gift giving, cookie eating, jolliest of all time, and cannot forget Elf, landlord, and beloved husband, the real Santa Claus, our whole TNL crew, Spangle, Jessica, Rex, Melissa, Lynn, Randall, Angela, Scott, and myself. I'm Santa Bob McMaster saying good afternoon. Remember, always let your Claus heart shine bright. Never stop learning. Hope to see you next Monday for our final show of the season and right back here next Tuesday night. Good night, all.